Today we are going to make magnetic slime. For this experiment, you will need a measuring glass or something to mix in, some starch, some Elmer's school glue, a 1/4 cup measuring device, and a tablespoon measuring device, as well as a very strong magnet. You will also need some iron filings. In addition to that, I'm going to use a plastic bag because I don't like getting my hands all messy. Some people think that's super amazing, and some people less so. So you can mix things with your hands. I'm going to mix it in a plastic bag. I'm going to start out with my plastic bag. I'm going to fold it over so that it stays open for me and push it inside of my measuring glass so that it does not tip over. So into that, I am going to put just under a 1/4 cup of school glue. I'm actually going to unscrew this. We might need a little bit more later, but we'll use not quite a 1/4 cup to begin with. You can scrape that out or you can leave it because we are probably going to want to add just a little bit more later, as I said. So I'm not going to worry too much about exact measurements because it varies a little bit in this experiment. Next, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of iron filings. Now, iron filings are not good to inhale, so you'll want to make sure that you're being very careful with these and not playing with the powdered iron filings, which means I'm gonna stop talking while I'm pouring this out. And then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of starch. If you're not doing this in a plastic bag, you'll want to mix in your iron filings to your glue well before you get started. And actually, we're gonna do that anyway with our hands real quick. See, I'm just squeezing that around. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, what you're doing here is just making sure that you are making the iron filings so that they are no longer dust that you can inhale. So it's just for safety. And now we're going to measure out 2 tablespoons of liquid starch. I have just a little bit extra that I'll save there in case I need a little bit extra to make my slime perfect. Now I'm going to zip up my plastic bag, squeeze out the air, and then just spend a bunch of time squeezing it around. What we're doing here is we're activating the starch and the glue to create our slime reaction. So you can see that my slime is starting to form, but it's getting very stringy. When slime is stringy, it's an indication that you want some more glue in it. When your slime is very sticky, it's an indication that you want some more starch. So I'm going to add a bit more glue to my slime. Not much, just a little bit to begin with. And start mixing again. If you start to do this and you run out of glue or starch and you need to adjust your slime, usually you can make it the right texture by rinsing it under water, and that just gets rid of the excess glue or excess starch. Now, there's only so much you can do in a plastic bag, so pretty soon I'm gonna pull this out and start working it with my hands and making it all come together. And after that, we will be all set for playing with our slime. It's still quite stringy, as you can see. Okay, it's not holding together well yet. Means I'll want some more of my glue. Because of the water content in both the starch and the glue, it's hard to do exact measurements because it just kind of depends on which glue and which starch you use, how old they are, and all sorts of things like that. Perfect! I'm going to clean up my workstation and let my slime sit for a moment. And then we will come back and play with our magnet. Okay, I've also washed and dried my hands and washed and dried the container that my starch came in so that I can store my slime in it. And now, slime's leaving just a little bit of magnet or a little bit of iron powder on my hands, so you'll want to make sure that you wash your hands after you're done playing with it, but that should resolve itself over a day or two too. So now I'm going to grab my magnet. This is a rare earth magnet and is very strong. Oop! And it should attract our slime to it. And you can make all sorts of shapes with it if you're patient. If you get a little bit too close, the slime will just jump right on. But if you get just the right amount, you can pull out little tendrils and draw out strings of slime and make cool shapes. So spend some time seeing how close you can get before it jumps off to the magnet. Seeing what kind of shapes and designs you can make using the magnet and the slime. As you can see, you can coat the whole magnet in slime. But luckily, it wants to stick together and stays pretty good.